All right, guys, obviously a big situation here with the Titanic, a submersible going down to visit it in a privately funded dive has been lost. We're all speculating what happened. The recent update that I saw, they are still looking for it. The one major hope they have at this point is maybe it lost power, floated to the surface, and it's somewhere just above the surface, but because it lost power, they would not be able to locate it. That is best case scenario right now from what I've seen. And kind of the two working theories are it either imploded due to a leak and with all the air pressure, similar to what happened to the Titanic stern, or it somehow got stuck on a fishing net on something in the ocean when it was trying to come back to the surface. Maybe it got stuck inside of the ship, maybe in one of the rooms, but that does seem rather unlikely. The whole story is getting crazier by the day because people are starting to look into how this dive down to the Titanic works. It takes about 2.5 hours. It's totally private. It costs each ticket $250,000. So there are really rich people going on this dive. You know they're going to be searching for days trying to find them. You can see some of these tweets. Please watch the full video. It's even worse than it looks. They also made the whole thing out of carbon fiber for some reason, and in their demo run get lost and tell the customers maybe they can find the Titanic next year. And you can see people clowning on the fact that that little controller is what controls the submersible. Now, when it comes to what I think happened, did it implode? Did the Titanic stern implode? Because there's some speculation that maybe it actually didn't. Based on the stern and how it looks at the bottom of the ocean, I do think it had to have imploded due to air pressure being trapped in the back of it. There's nowhere for it to go unless maybe it busts out of the portholes. But even that seems unlikely. When the stern went down, it wasn't waterlogged like the bow. And of course, with the bow, it goes head first down. It's easy to release air. That's why the bow didn't implode and it looks better, but the stern does. There are people that say, no, the stern didn't implode. It doesn't make any sense. Ships like that don't implode because there's been ships like that that have sunk that haven't imploded. But it was also reported that on the surface, the survivors did hear an explosion. I do think it did implode based on how it looks at the bottom. You could speculate that that's how it would look anyways, just falling. But just the way that it fell and kind of corkscrewed down with the entire interior being destroyed, I would say that it imploded due to air pressure, it not being able to flood properly because it goes under really quickly after the bow breaks off and sinks. But getting to the submersible, there's two different options at this point. Well, I guess, there is three different options, but if it did spring a leak, and it is possible that it did, because this thing seems super patchwork, the entire dive does. They have done this a lot before, but there was a video showing what exactly goes into one of these dives. And yeah, when you look at this is not like some crazy professional thing. There's only like 3 submarines in the world that can reach that low in terms of depths in the ocean. So, listen, right now I would say an implosion is possible. Also, maybe it got stuck on something down by the Titanic. I would not imagine, it would be stuck in a room in the Titanic. That would be pretty crazy. The Titan, which is what the submersible is called, it's too big for that. When they actually explore the Titanic with, not bringing tourists down there with scientists, they will send little drones into different rooms. And I think my message would be that we need an immediate expedition of the Titanic, of the full interior. Try and go into different rooms because the ship is only deteriorating faster and faster. This is just a side tourist attraction for the super ultra rich. So either way, guys, an implosion is possible. They are still searching for it. The hope, again, would be they lost power and came back up and they're floating somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, of course, is huge. So it is possible that their submersible is just bobbing on the surface, but if an implosion happens, it would be very hard to find that. You remember that plane that they still can't find, that lost plane in Malaysia, I think, Malaysia Airlines. That's how big the ocean is. It's just ridiculous. and there are less than 48 hours of oxygen left on board. I think there was a total of 92, but after it was declared lost, after going down, it's down to 48 hours left of emergency oxygen. So, we'll have to see. Hopefully they end up finding them. This is still a developing thing, but it is kind of interesting. I start doing all these Titanic videos and then the thing trends. I did think that maybe they were trying to raise it. That's why it was trending, but no. We do need a serious expedition down to the Titanic. Like, why can't they just facilitate something where they're like, all right, we're done exploring the Titanic, but we're just going to go one more time. We're going to spend all of our money going down on this one expedition. We're going to have 6 different robots that are small enough to get in every little crevice of Titanic, and we're going to document everything, including the swimming pool and the squash court. You would think they'd be able to do that. Instead, they just do these like dinky little dives where they document the bow of the ship. We've seen the bow of the ship 300 times. How about we go into one of the rooms rather than going down there every year? Why not just save all the money, go down one time, and actually bring little drone robots to go into each room and explore? Because that's what people are interested in. We want to see what rooms are actually down there, because there does seem like the bow especially does have some rooms that are intact. The stern is completely destroyed, but I would like to see the stern up close a little bit, maybe like where it broke off and imploded in the front. Seems like we never get images of that. But either way, guys, that's just the update on this situation. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.